The video game industry is in chaos. Studios are shutting down left and right, beloved franchises are being abandoned, and thousands of developers are losing their jobs. Yet, for gamers, it's never been better. We're living in a golden age of gaming, where you have more games than you could ever possibly play, but the industry making them is circling the drain like a dirty toilet. We've got more choices than a buffet. Consoles, handhelds, PCs, you name it, we've got it, and thanks to subscription services like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, you can access hundreds of games without ever leaving your couch. It's the best deal in entertainment, but behind this golden age, there's a survival horror story playing out that's scarier than anything Resident Evil could ever throw at you. Studios are dropping like flies, and entire projects are being axed before they even get a chance to disappoint us. In 2024 alone, over 10,000 industry professionals lost their jobs, and you have to wonder what's going on behind the scenes. Why are so many studios failing in an era where gaming is more popular than ever? There's a long list of reasons, but one of the biggest culprits is the rise of subscription services. These platforms providing players with so many options that traditional game sales are plummeting. This has caused a shift in the industry where I think we see these major AAA releases like Avowed getting released on Game Pass in less than polished states because they expect players to be fine since they didn't have to actually purchase the game. I truly think that the rise of subscription models like Game Pass changed how these studios have to approach game development. Since they've already decided you probably won't purchase every major release, why not entice more players into buying a subscription so that they can access a new game and still feel like they're getting value, even if that game doesn't meet their expectations? And this tactic has completely worked on gamers. What Microsoft can effectively do now is create these massive marketing machines for Game Pass by releasing a new title. And it doesn't even have to be good, because once they get a new customer, a new subscriber who looks and sees an entire catalog of 500 games they get included with a new game they want, then they're far less likely to leave when the cost of access is $10 to $20 a month. And this creates a problem as Game Pass and PlayStation Plus effectively kills overall game sales. When you have the option to access hundreds of games for a low monthly fee, why pay full price for just one? The shift is changing how games are made, marketed, and sold, and it's having devastating consequences. Games are becoming disposable content. Developers are no longer trying to sell you a masterpiece. They just need to make something that keeps you subscribed for another month. And unfortunately, we can see the damage this model is doing in real time with the game Avowed. At launch, Avowed peaked at 17,000 concurrent players on Steam, and that's not including the Game Pass subscriber numbers, but this can effectively tell us that the game is selling poorly. I know that this isn't entirely reflective of the player base, but I can probably guess that if you have a Game Pass subscription, you didn't purchase the game. You just kept paying your subscription, which doesn't really translate into much profit for the actual studio that made the game. It's become a massive flop, and I really doubt it will ever sell enough copies in the future to cover the development and marketing costs, which I'm guessing is somewhere in the range of 100 to 150 million. But the thing is that Microsoft doesn't care how well Avowed or any future release sells. They just need these releases to be on Game Pass, to keep people subscribed, and to be a marketing machine for the service. So while we, the customer, gets to stay happy, the studios that make great games get tossed aside and thrown into the dumpster pit. Microsoft and PlayStation aren't trying to sell you games anymore. They're building a Netflix for games, and just like Netflix, they don't care if every game is a masterpiece, they just need content to keep you subscribed. This paradox where gamers get to enjoy unparalleled experiences while the industry's foundation crumbles raises critical questions about the sustainability. The shift towards digital distribution and subscription models, while beneficial to players, has not offset the ballooning costs and financial risks associated with AAA game development. As the industry navigates this complex landscape, it must reconcile the demands of delivering high-quality content with economic realities that threaten its very existence. This new model is destroying the AAA industry because it's lowering the bar for quality. In the past, studios had to make great games to get people to buy them, but now they just need to make something good enough to get you to try it. This has led to an explosion of mediocre games that are designed to be played, forgotten, and replaced by the next title in the lineup. Games aren't designed to be great experiences anymore, and Avowed is the perfect example. It's a game that feels hollow and uninspired because that's all it needed to be. Microsoft didn't care if it was a masterpiece. This is also why we're seeing so many cancellations and layoffs. Studios can't afford to take risks anymore. They can't afford to make new IPs because they're too expensive and risky. Instead, they're doubling down on safe bets like sequels and remakes. And when a new IP like Avowed flops, it just reinforces the fear of trying something new. So what we're headed for is a future where great games are the exception, not the rule. We'll only get a handful of blockbusters each year, but we'll be surrounded by a sea of mediocre content designed to keep us paying for subscription services. If we want great games made with passion and creativity, it's time to start asking hard questions about where this industry is headed. The golden age of gaming might be great for players right now, but the industry is paying the price. And if we're not careful, we're going to wake up one day and realize that the games we used to love are gone, replaced by an endless sea of mediocre content. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like and comment your thoughts. I appreciate you guys for making it to the end, and as always, have a good one.